7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You'll never have the sacred stone.
Oh, this you crazy mother.
The Savachi syndrome, I'm telling you, I'm...
You're like, well, holy shit, that was crazy.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Moto Aftermath Show presented by TLR Coatings. We're here back in studio covering round 7. So we're at 7. Dallas, Arlington, Dallas, whatever.
Same thing. Jerry
Supercross
World. Jerry
and
World.
Jerry World, the stadium that Jerry built, AT&T Stadium, and what a we'll call it magical night of racing, huh?
You know, honestly, after practice and the way the track looked, I was thinking it was going to be a very uneventful night, and boy, were we wrong. We were very much so wrong.
We were. So quick couple paperwork things here. We are, again, presented by TLR Coatings. So make sure to check them out for all of your powder coating needs. Oh, I was like, what are you doing?
Dude, I was looking at the...
I'm looking at the camera this time like everybody says I should, so I wasn't even looking at you over there. Anyway, so presented by TLR Coatings for all your powder coating needs. You can find us on all social media, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. We still got the website that at some point I'm going to work on, but it just...
Maybe summertime.
Maybe in the summer. Maybe in the summer when I'm slower.
Maybe we'll do a backwards thing and you'll get slower in the summertime. And
hopefully, yes. And then if you want to support us, Teespring links down below to buy t-shirts. There is you can click the Amazon links, buy something on Amazon. That'll really help us out. We get a small slice of that, or just support us on Patreon and donate some money and we'll send you something. It'll be something.
Yeah, I don't know what it's going to be.
But I don't know either, but it'll be something.
It will be something.
So let's start with the track. Track was pretty much basic and another, you had Glendale, Minnesota, and this one, all similar layouts.
Yeah, I was really, and I mentioned this in the group chat and stuff earlier in the day, I was, when me and Cole were talking back and forth, I was really hoping that now that we went east, and I said this in the Minneapolis review, that Dirtworks would start, opening things up, better dirt, you can get away with doing different rhythm section stuff just because the traction's there. And I understood why in Minneapolis it was more tamed down. They were like, first swing on the East Coast. They didn't know how the dirt was going to break down. So, okay, we'll kind of slowly go into this and they'll get better. And I think as the rounds go on, but, especially like Detroit coming up, I like the track map last night and there's some different variations. But, I think that I'm just going to keep saying it. We're getting to the point that these bikes are so good. It just makes it look basic, because I think if you would have taken this track maybe 10, 12 years ago, you still have like Stu and Ricky and Chad, still hucking these gnarly lines and stuff. But I think that for the most part, it would be pretty technical. But we're just at this point. Dude, and we won't get into it until we talked about the 450s, but even the double before the triple. Like, Coop went single and just rolled on and still hucked the 70-foot triple like it was nothing, in second gear. So, I'm really hoping that now when we're starting getting, the really, really good dirt, that they start opening things up. But, I don't know. There was still good racing last night. It didn't look like it was going to be at the beginning of the night, but, I think it's just one of those things.
The dirt was super soft, dude.
Yeah, they had a lot of sand.
Yeah, which was weird. I was like, wow. My first thought, well, they didn't put lime in it, so...
Well, I think what's going to happen is we're actually, when we go to, Houston, the last Triple Crown and stuff, that's probably going to be your typical Texas concrete dirt.
Hard.
It's closer to springtime.
Yeah.
But I think it kind of threw the riders for a loop, and a lot of guys were even talking about it and stuff. They were like, man, you usually come in with this mindset, this is going to be really hard. It's going to break down really quickly, and then it's just going to go away. And, now it was just, I think that a lot of guys were kind of scrambling after that first practice to get a different bike set up because... the first practice, I know a lot of the guys, other than the big names, guys were struggling to really put in consistent laps. So, I don't know. I'm trying not to be overcritical of these track designs and stuff because, it gets beaten by a horse by everybody else in the industry. So,
they said it was soft, but then they said, like, the whoops were really hard. It was really weird. It was what I heard because I was just listening to the press conference.
Whoops were the smallest I've seen them in a while. They broke down and got gnarly, dude, but like for the heats.
Yeah, well, Forkner said they changed them. He said between practice between qualifying and the heats that they cut them, they were deeper, bigger, whatever. And he's like, wish I would have known.
Do you see that they changed where those 3 rollers before the finish, they turned it down to 2? because the face was getting so soft on the first one they couldn't get the lift, and I think they were afraid of not everybody kind of tagging the third one with a rear wheel and bouncing into the face, so they completely took it out. But even I don't know if you heard, but Coop after the free practice or whatever basically just called every Dirtworks out and said, yeah, you guys got to stop making with these cookie cutter tracks, they suck. So I mean,
I don't know, whatever, there's only so much you can do, right?
Yeah, well,
All right, well, let's jump into 250s here and get this show pony on the road here. All right, so 250s here. You want to start from the top up or bottom?
Let's go from the bottom up.
Bottom up, okay.
Where do you want to start?
Al's Wharton. What the hell happened to Wharton? 21st. He crashed?
He hit the ground again.
Oh, shit.
He was riding good. I think he was in the top 10 when he went down.
Yeah, poor guy. Whatever. How about Scuba Steve? Scuba Steve?
Yeah.
Scuba Steve?
I mean, he
made it in.
Yeah, last week he actually had gotten hurt in the free practice and stuff, so that's why he didn't ride. So I was kind of wondering when his name didn't come across the screen. I picked him for fantasy. It helped me out a lot. Yeah, as far as I know, he's riding for the Tyloob team, same team as Wharton and stuff. He's just doing the East Coast. I don't think he's doing outdoors here. I think he's going to go back and do the British Series like he always does. Yeah, I think that he'll probably just be a consistent main event guy. Daytona will probably be where he's best at. But other than that, I mean, I expect him to make the rest of the mains and stuff if he doesn't get hurt. So it's good to see him racing again.
Okay, and let's just skip up here to 9th place, Hart Raft. Is he underperforming to you this year so far?
Well, I think his biggest thing is, and we talked about this in the previous show, as big as he is, he can't get starts.
Yeah.
He's proven, and his lap times have been good, that if he gets a start, he's up there. But, dude, he went through a lot of crap in Minneapolis. I don't know if you heard, but he missed.
His bike didn't.
Yeah.
So he only ran the one practice. Yeah. So, I mean, I guess we'll get a couple more rounds before we get too serious on the haterade with him, but I
think this weekend with the Triple Crown format and stuff, he might do a little bit better, but I think his biggest thing is he's just another one of those guys that needs to start.
Yeah. Amart, I mean, he crashed.
Oldenburg teed him up.
Yeah.
He is not happy about that.
Came from last to 8th, so I don't think that's a horrible ride.
I think that even though 8th, he's a lot faster than I thought he was going to be this year. I did not expect his speed to be this good.
Only 3 spots behind Marty, so I think you still have him in the points, which is good for Pulp MX because that means
I just want to hear Mitch on the show.
Yeah, you're gonna have to go on the show, so that's gonna be awesome.
Dude, it'd be awesome to get him and Kiefer in the same room. Oh my god, dude! Because everybody knows the stories when Mitch, you get a little bit of beer and you get a little drink. Kyle Pete. Can we just say that Kyle Peters is that one guy that just completely tells everybody to F off when everybody's like...
All the time.
Yeah, dude, you're never going to do better than 10th. And he got a 7th. And he got, 9th last week? He's just a top 10 guy.
I guess, which is funny because nobody talks about him.
Yeah, he hasn't been really... He was really highly touted coming out as an amateur and stuff. He rode at MTF. I honestly want to see him stay healthy enough to get into outdoors and stuff because he is... he went over to Australia in the 450 class and he got podiums over there and stuff. He's a good outdoor rider. I think he's just one of those guys that you just kind of forget about, but then you look up and he's never not in the top 10.
No, I'm just a little upset that I'm upset that he got such a good start last night because I wanted to see Sexton chase down Forkner. Because I think he would have.
Yeah.
But he had to get around Peters, and Peters isn't slow, but Peters is slow enough that he's not keeping up with Forkner, so it's like, it's kind of a pain in the ass, but whatever, it is what it is, so...
Oldenburg's another guy I think needs to start. He proved in that heat race that he has the speed this year to... Yes. We'll get to it with Forkner and stuff, but we kind of know that Forkner is the fastest guy straight up, but then we're not really sure with Smitty and Sexton, who is quicker. I think they're very even. Cooper's just kind of, hanging along in there. But I think Oldenburg proved in that heat race and stuff that if he gets a start, I think he might be the one guy that if he gets a start, because that's his only weak point. Like last year, it was ton of speed, but just couldn't pull his head out of his ass. I think he's gotten over that and just get over his starts. I think he's the one guy that has the complete package that if he gets a start, he can run with Forkner. But once again, you're talking about another Hart Raft, a huge dude that just I don't know if he's gonna be able to get a start all year, which sucks because I think everybody's gonna kind of think, well, he's just a 5th place guy. Well, Justin Cooper got 2nd. Granted, he got some gifts, and then 3rd last week, and Oldenburg beat him flat out in the heat race, just pulled on him. So
Yeah.
I think that's a guy that I'm really curious to see what he can do if he gets a start in the main.
Yeah, but he's another one too. He likes to crash and get himself hurt. So
Yeah, and that's what I mean. Like, that was his problem last year and
Yeah.
stuff. And so far, he hasn't had to. I don't think he's gone down one time, and through practice, heat races in the main through 2 rounds. It just starts. Like,
Yep.
So
and then Marty,
rebound.
have you? Yeah, a little bit. But have you heard too that he's been telling people this is it?
This is his last year.
Mm-hmm. I've heard it
Well,
a few different times now.
Well, then if that's I haven't heard that. So if that's the case, what's going to happen is that he's going to finish out Supercross, and then he's just going to be like, oh, my arm. So he doesn't have to ride outdoors.
Oh yeah, he isn't riding.
Because he doesn't want to ride that 250F outdoors.
No.
He hasn't ridden one in like 10 years.
No, he's not riding outdoors.
No,
so.
not on a 250F.
But yeah, look, I would say slight rebound ride there.
He looked racy.
better.
Yeah, he looked racy, as we would say. So,
yes.
do we think that that's going to be really his best? Because I don't know if his speed is good enough.
I don't think it
to be
is
better
either.
than 5th.
They talked about it on the Pulp review last week about how they're not really sure if he has it anymore to hang it out like you need to in this class.
Well, he's 32 now.
Yeah.
So I mean, like,
I don't know how he does it because in
the 250 class of all things. 450 class, this is different. The 250 class is just hectic from the get-go. So, I mean, if he keeps it together this year and he gets a top 5 in points, I mean, at 32 years old, we rag on him all the time in the 250 class, but if he can get a top 5 in points at 32 years old and then just call it good, I mean, good for him. I can't really say any otherwise. I can't put into words how hard it is to the 250 class intensity-wise is harder than the 450 class. And I don't think people don't realize that. They're like, okay, the 450 guys are the best of the best, but the intensity and just the erraticness of the 250 class is not meant for a guy of his age.
No,
it's
because it's kids.
Yeah, like they just don't give a shit.
No.
They're wide open the whole entire time.
That's why it's like, I don't know how he races I mean, I do because he's got the skill.
Yeah.
But it's like, dude, I couldn't do that. Like,
no, it's not.
Even if I was at that level, like, dude, there's no way I could hang it out with someone like Forkner.
Because you got to be right off the start. You literally got to go from 90 beats per minute to 180 right off the bat. Like, there's no settling in. So, no, good on him. If this is his last year, I just hope he stays healthy the whole entire year. And that's it. So.
Yep. So now these top 4 we're getting into here, are these our top 4 for every round of the East Coast here?
Well,
is this what we're kind of deciding here?
I think that Smitty and Sexton. I mean, Smitty rode good in Minneapolis, but he pulled another Smitty of last year
and crashed in
the whoops, and and I don't even know what happened because I didn't really see the whole thing. I think he just faded too far to the inside and hit the bail.
Maybe I don't remember they showed it, but I can't remember.
I think this is the 4, but I think that Forkner, Sexton, and Smitty are above Cooper. I think that Cooper. I'm not trying to shit on his accomplishments, but let's be real. He only got 2nd because he just outlasted Smitty and Sexton.
Yeah, that's true, because Sexton went down twice.
Yeah. I think Oldenburg is the only other guy that maybe could throw his name in the mix, but because his starts, I think that it's going to be hard to see that consistently. But yeah, Smitty, I think, is now 3rd in the points because Cooper probably jumped to 2nd. So, I think so. I think that... dude, after what happened in practice with Forkner and Smitty's even lucky to have a head on his shoulders, dude. You saw that, right?
Oh yeah, where he jumped.
That was bad. That was bad. I'm watching them like, oh shit. Yeah, he's lucky to have a head on his shoulders.
And I couldn't even tell, like, if Forkner, after he went around that corner, did he do like one of these? Like, what were you doing?
No, I think he was just kind of like,
or did he do one of these?
I think he was just kind of like going like, oh shit. And I think he even looked back at him and like, I guarantee he probably said something. He's like, dude. That's probably all he said, dude.
Because that was gnarly, dude. And and it wasn't Smitty's fault.
No.
Like, he just cross-rutted and like went wild, and it was like, oh god.
No, I think they were both kind of like. I think Forkner was probably in the moment too like, oh shit, that could have been it for both of us to be upset about that. So yeah. But I do agree. I think that these are probably, other than Oldenburg, going to be our 4. Maybe Amart gets in there a few times and stuff. Maybe Daytona.
Yeah.
But I think these are our 4. It's just, once again, and we might as well jump into Sexton. So Chase showed he had the speed last night. He got it down to 1.3 with Forkner. But the same thing we keep talking about since last year. He has these moments of, dude, what are you doing?
Yeah.
What are you doing? Your speed is there. He was catching Forkner and then just two literally mental mistakes. Just dumb shit.
Yep.
I get going into the wall and stuff. He was double clutching the shit out of it. And I think what happened is when he re-engaged the second time, you had no transition, and he just rolled off too much, and that was the end of it. But in the 90-degree corner, before you come back across the start, like, dude, what are you doing? And it's too early to say, but if he does this again this coming weekend, I don't know if he's going to get it figured out because That's the thing. Like, he just consistently does this. He had his moments in Minneapolis in the heat race, which was like, whoa. But he's got the speed.
Yeah.
But once again, like, dude, that's never been his issue. Like, it's just these boneheaded moves, you know. So, I mean, I guess we can go into Cooper, who hasn't had a boneheaded move yet this year.
And finished second.
He's, like, dude, that was just kind of like an attrition thing. He just didn't crash.
You ever notice how he has, like, next to no emotions? He's just, like,
Well,
the whole time.
we...
Doesn't even care.
We raced him a lot and stuff in the Arena Cross series and stuff. Him and Mitchell raced a lot. Mitchell is a year younger than him, but they came up racing in the Arena Cross stuff, regionals, and he was kind of always like that. I think that was just kind of like the way. It's just that it's kind of the opposite of the New York lifestyle.
Yeah, but it's insane because if he is that way, like, dude, this kid could have a really good future because he doesn't like.
He doesn't have these ups and downs. There's no peaks.
Boom, boom, boom.
No, it's just like, level, even keel.
We're here,
yeah.
We're just riding.
Oh no, dude, he's for real and stuff. But like I said, are we so sure though that he's going to be able to keep this doing when Smitty and Sexton don't crash?
Yeah, I don't.
That's the thing is we're only 2 rounds into stuff, but I have to believe that even though these are the 4, I think that even though the second last night was really, really good, I feel that he's the 4th guy out of that group because I just don't think his speed is as good as Smitty and Sexton's. So, and let's just get into it, Forkner. All over the place, sketchy as shit.
Went down in practice again. Like,
oh yeah, dude, that was
not like a soft went down. Like that was a pretty good get off. Well, I mean, he cartwheeled out of it well, but it was pretty good get off. So.
I even made the comment in the group text that I think he just needs to stop worrying about putting them in the fast lap in practice. Just, dude, it doesn't matter to him. Like he's proven his starts are good. Get 4th.
What about in the heat?
Dude, all over the place.
Larry fucking loop out over that thing.
Oh, dude, he rolled on so hard and he just went, it hooked and it was starting.
He did that and I was like, oh boy.
But he still won though. Yeah. He regrouped. And
I know.
And even in the main and stuff, when Sexton was closing, you could tell that he was doing, and I noticed this when he started looking around, I think it was like halfway in, you could tell that he was marking where Sexton was because Ollie Stone, his mechanic, was probably telling him, hey, closing. And he looked around and he's like, okay, breathe. And he put in 2 really just like consistent laps. And then he'd click off a heater, and then he'd pull back out. 2 consistent laps, pull in a heater, click back out. And like I said last night, like, I get it. He's sketchy as shit. He still hasn't figured it out. But the difference is now is that he can still be sketchy, and he can win. Like, that's the thing. And that's why I think that when he puts in the perfect race, I almost think he's going to have to crash twice for these guys to beat him in a main. I don't think that he is so much better than them when it comes to the outright speed, even though Chase was catching him, like Forkner on an instance could go from 1.3 to 1.9, and Chase still put in a good lap. So, dude, I don't know.
Did you hear? Was it in practice or was it during the night show when they were talking about? Maybe it was practice when Daniel Blair was talking. I think it was him talking about Forkner moving up to a 450 or whatever.
Oh yeah, and Carmichael was talking about it too.
And I'm like,
Carmichael. They made a comment about that, and Carmichael said that he'd like to see him move up early by 2021, go to the 450. But the thing is if he wins championships, he's going to have to. So but he needs to bulk up a little bit more. He still needs to go through maturity. So I think it was a little bit early to be talking about that. But yeah, 2 or 3 years. But I mean, dude. Last night was a perfect example of why I picked him for as many wins as I thought he was going to get this year. Because when I
still got to go another like 2-3 rounds here before I'm like super on board and see. Because, dude, I still think it's sketchy. I think he's going to ragdoll it. I think he's going to ragdoll it, and that's going to cost him his title.
But the problem is that, and I get that, and it did last year. It cost him a title because had he not crashed in Minneapolis, it would have gone down to Vegas between him and Zacho.
Yep.
But here's the thing, and I talked about this enough that I get that, and I can't argue with you about that. But the only other person of the guys that he's racing that doesn't crash is Cooper.
Yeah.
And Cooper's not going to win this title because Cooper is good. If Cooper is close enough because Forkner has issues and he gets in a title battle and he really knows what it's like to be in the intensity side and guys start getting rough with him, like that's where the only thing I think that the even keel attitude is not going to work. That's where I don't believe that unless Forkner just completely like hurts himself, I don't think he has anything to worry about because Sexton and Smitty have proven that they can't do it either. So, like, my question is that if we get 6 rounds in and Forkner's had a bad race because he's hit the ground, but everybody, who are you going to pick? Are you going to pick Cooper for the title? That's the thing. Like, are you going to pick?
My fear with it is not only is he going to hit the ground, but he's going to hit the ground hard, and then it's gonna be like a 20-second. Like these other guys, yes, they've hit the ground, but I mean, dude, they've recouped to top 5 positions. Where I think because Forkner goes so all out all the time here, when he hits the ground. He's not going to get back up.
Yeah.
And that's why I keep telling you, like, dude, I want to see him, like, not get a start. Because if you looked last night in that heat race, he didn't get a start. He was in, what, second, third, whatever.
Yeah.
But he wasn't first. And look how many sketchy moments he had. Because he goes berserk. He's like, AC was. He's like, freaking.
But he still
whatever.
won, though.
Yeah, I know. But, dude, how many sketchy moments? And then it's like, okay, all it takes is one of those sketchy moments to really get out of hand. And
that's the
stuff,
thing,
you know?
and that's what I think I'm getting at is I think the only way he doesn't win this championship is if he completely ragdolls and hurts himself.
Yeah.
Because if he just, say he crashes and he just gets loose and he loses the front end. Dude, are you going to bank on, say he's running second, and just the hypothetical, say he's running second, he's battling Sexton, and he just washes the front end. Are you really going to believe that just washing the front end and he doesn't get hurt and there's no bike problems, that if he goes back to seventh, he's not going to be able to...
That's not what I'm saying. Like I said, I'm saying that I'm still under the impression he's going to ragdoll.
So, basically what I'm hearing from you is the only way you think he's not going to win the title is if he hurts himself.
Most likely, yeah.
So what happens if he doesn't hurt himself? Then
If he doesn't hurt himself, he's probably going to win this title, dude.
Yeah, because that's the thing.
He is the class of the field,
Yeah.
that's no doubt.
If you go into Vegas and it's a 10-point gap, it's 10 points between him, Sexton, Smitty, you're gonna have to bank on speed at that point, because I'm not gonna take those guys over him, because that's the difference is I believe that on any given night Forkner's speed is gonna carry him to a win, where with Sexton and Smitty, I don't think that their speed can carry to them to a win when everybody else is struggling. No. So Cooper right now, to me, as weird as it is the only guy in my opinion that's a threat to Forkner, just because he doesn't crash.
Yeah.
If he doesn't, he could literally win this title like a Tim Ferry and just not 97. Win, but because he doesn't crash, which if he does, great. I'll applaud the hell out of him, but
that'd be awesome.
Right. I mean, I'm not on the wagon of Cooper, but like that'd be good for him. Great. It'd be a cool story. But I'm still under the impression that Forkner is just leaps and bounds ahead of everybody, that I just don't think that if he clicks off 2 more wins, like, I think it's over with. I think if he gets 2 more wins if he has 2 more wins and we go in round 5, I think it's going to be over with, because I can't guarantee
that Sexton... Yeah, but it'll be interesting to see, because we have a Triple Crown.
But he gets starts, though.
Yeah, so that might be okay, but we got the Triple Crown.
And then the East-West Shootout. The East-West Shootout is going to be where I think we talked about this, is going to be interesting, because... Is he going to want to prove that he's better than everybody on the West? And is that going to be... Because I'll tell you right now, here's the thing.
His attitude, I would say yes.
But here's the thing. I think he is better than everybody on the West. AC and Ferrandis have been good, but AC has not shown me one time, other than Glendale, that his speed on any given lap is as good as Forkner's.
Dude, I think him and Frenchie are like the same level. They're like sketchy, but they're super fast.
But the thing is that if they're the...
Smoking Frenchie.
Well, he hasn't been smoking him. He only smoked him in the mud.
Been smoking him.
No, he hasn't been smoking him.
We got that red plate. Right?
But the thing is that those guys don't get as starts as Forkner does.
Okay, well, that's fair too.
So, yeah, other than that, I mean...
I would like to thank all of you who did not qualify for the main and really fucked up my fantasy. Thomas Covington, what's the kid's name? Sales? Or
Chase Marquier and Hunter Sales.
Chase Marquier and Hunter Sales. Oh. Thank the 3 of you, especially you, Covington, for fucking up my fantasy.
Yeah, you shouldn't have picked Covington other than Daytona. I could have told you that. Who was your all-star?
Cooper.
Justin Cooper?
Yeah.
Okay. Can we mention for a second, I know that 15th place won't seem like a big deal, and he was on my fantasy. John Short. John Short on a box stock 250F.
Perfect.
Like, literally stock 250F. Like, I was looking at that, and I was like, no. Yeah, come to find out, he's on a stock 250F Honda.
Not even suspension?
No, I'm talking about motor-wise. Everything's box stock. He's got suspension, he's got chassis components.
Okay, all right.
But he doesn't even have an exhaust. He has a stock exhaust.
I did see that, yes. Yeah. In the Race Day Live thing they were showing.
Yeah.
I was like, that's a stock exhaust.
I did a little bit more research. Yeah, he's on a box stock 250F.
Nice.
That's not common in the 250 class in Supercross. So good on John Short. Like to see on a mod bike, because that'd be interesting.
Yeah.
So other than that, let's get into the 450 class, because that's where the excitement happened.
Dude, you gotta look at the camera, not the screen.
I don't care.
You pointed at the camera and looked at the screen. You're an idiot.
I don't...
Okay, 450 class.
Where do you want to start? You want to start with Osborne?
Yep. That was a rough...
What I tried to tell you, man.
Rough opener for us.
Speed was good, but I tried to tell you.
Speed was good.
Tried to tell you, man.
We would have probably been okay had AP not decided to be like, hey, F you guys, I'm going to run you over while you're trying to, side saddle your motorcycle.
Mm-hmm.
So we probably would have been okay. through there. That would have been great.
I think the situation in the whoops proved that his shoulder strength isn't good because, dude, once he unloaded into the corner, like, he literally had no strength to get center on the bike. He just
You noticed when he got up after that crash too, he kind of was holding his shoulder. Yeah.
Some people are still thinking that. Some people are still thinking that
we might be rushing this a little bit.
I'm not jumping to conclusions, but I will not be surprised if we find out this week that he's taking another couple weeks off because I think that shoulder was not as good as he thought.
That was a sad night.
And if we're going to be honest, if that's the case, and I'm Husky, I get that you want to have a bike out there. Dean Wilson is still top 5 in the points. Rest Zacho, get him ready for outdoors because I'll talk about this in the outdoor show. I actually believe outdoors will be really good for him. So I'll jump on the Zacho train for a little bit on that point. If you're Husky and Bobby Hewitt, and I hope Bobby Hewitt is a smart, just don't make him ride out. No. Hell no. I'm just saying, dude. No. Zacho outdoors to me, and I can't believe I'm going to say this, has the intensity where I think he could be a top 5 guy outdoors.
Holy shit! Did you really just say that?
Yeah, I will, and I'll say it again in the
show's over. We're done. Thank you. See y'all later.
Seriously though, if you're Bobby Hewitt and his shoulder is banged up and you can't, what is the point?
There isn't.
What is the point, dude?
No point. The whole year is just shot. I mean,
he would literally have to be top 5 for the rest of the year, every race, to even have a shot at doing anything worth of significance.
Yep.
And he's not going to. No. So if you're Bobby Hewitt and they find out this week that his shoulder is bumming, what's the point? Don't even ride Supercross. There's no need for it.
No, or just take enough weeks off here until you're full and then come back.
But even at that, though, what really, with the way Zacho is, what would be the point in it?
It's just sponsor obligations at that point is all. I mean, I know it sucks to say, but that's just what it is. It's sponsor obligations. So come out, put it in the top 10 for the last few rounds and then call it a day. Because by then, we're going to have more dudes hurt, so it's going to be easier to get in the top 10 without having to really push it and go for it. Like that. I mean,
I just think at this point, last night really proved that the speed was there, and we all knew that was going to be one thing with him. And I even said I thought that his speed would be good. I just didn't know if he could put it together for a whole main. But it clearly showed that I don't think that shoulder is as good as they thought it was.
No, I don't think so.
He didn't. If he could
thought he hurt it when he went over the berm, and then because the way he was doing it, and then when they showed the crash, I was like, yeah, he didn't even really land on it that much. Yeah, and he still was like,
For him, when he had probably a good 10 feet coming out of the whoops to get that bike back straight, even if he'd had a roll high in the berm to not be able to get. No, I don't think that shoulder is good as they thought. So
nope.
I just want to see him healthy for outdoors because I want to see all the guys healthy. So if I'm them, I just hope that they hey, let's just be done with it.
Mm-hmm. So Blow's 17th. That's pretty good for him.
Yeah, that's kind of where I thought he would be. He kind of said it, like they talked about it on the practice show, and he talked to Daniel Blair.
I should have picked him for fantasy.
Oh, I did, dude. It was great.
Did you?
I don't want to sit at home. Like everybody's why riding the 450? Well, he's ridden a 450 long. He hasn't been on the 250F that much, other than the Arena Cross series. He rode 450s in Supercross. He's like, I don't want to sit at home. I have nothing else to do. So he doesn't ride outdoors. So why not? So I imagine he'll probably be on it till the East-West shootout, and then probably just get ready for the 250s, come back in Seattle. So, that was pretty cool. Cole Martinez made another main. Justin Hill. Justin Hill was really good, and then he hit the ground again. But he was running like 7th when he hit the ground.
Dude, no. This is the biggest waste of money JGR's ever had. It is. Dude, I have no faith in that kid. Obviously, you've heard the rumors, too, that he doesn't train well.
No, he rolls
everything. Everybody's like, oh, he does. He puts in the work. No, he doesn't. You can tell. Dude, you can watch it when he gets lapped. He's rolling. Yeah, why are you rolling? You're a factory dude.
He trained damn hard in his early 250 years, and then I think he just realized that, hey, I could do a little bit of cardio and just put in motos that my natural talent will take me, and it took him to a title in the 250 class and stuff. And I don't know. It's really weird.
Anyone who signs him is an idiot.
Because his outdoor season went better than right now his Supercross season is going. Other than a few times that he got hurt at Southwick and Washougal, his outdoor season, outdoors, he was top 5 a bunch of different times. So, I'm really confused what's going on here. But then again, I didn't realize his injury was dude, he separated his ribcage. I didn't realize it was that bad. So, I think that was another part of it.
But the thing is dude, this isn't just since the crash. He gets hurt a lot. Dude, it was he didn't ride well before that.
No, so, I mean, he was good in the heat race and shit, but I don't know.
Big waste of money. You think he's getting paid 7 figures?
No, there's no way.
Okay.
I don't think so.
I wasn't sure.
I am going to venture to guess that him and Weston are probably making the same amount of money, because I think that with Weston, it's a given thing, where with Hill, it's kind of like, well, we're throwing darts at the board and hoping it sticks. Yeah. So, let's just get into the shit show that was Eli Tomac.
Oh, my God.
So,
Chad Reed passed him.
Let's talk about this for a little bit, since show, we can go a little bit longer.
So he crashes in a turn.
No, let's not even go to that first.
Okay.
What had we been hearing the whole entire time this year? Because now, after the Whiskey Throttle show, he did come out and say, "Hey,
Yeah,
100%.
I was hurt, but now I'm 100%.
What was everything we kept hearing from people? Oh, if he gets a start.
Oh, if he gets a start, yes.
What happened when Eli Tomac got a start last night?
Kenny got aggressive, and then
even Eli tried to sweep him on the rollers, and he couldn't make it stick.
yeah.
So,
And then he went down in that turn, and that was all she wrote.
So what are the excuses going to be now?
Dude, I don't know. That was.
Are you
that
are
was-
you, are
that
you
was
off?
insane.
Are you off the Tomac bandwagon? At
I
this
was
point?
watching it. I was watching him in the heat. He didn't do well in his heat either.
No,
did he?
Sealy beat him.
Yeah, I was watching him in the heat, and I was like,
He had like 3 minutes to go.
What the hell is going on?
He had like 3 minutes to make something happen with Sealy, and he couldn't do it. He got on his rear wheel and stuff, but he never really pushed the issue.
He's just not impressive this year.
Dude,
Dude, we're talking about a guy who in the last 2 years has won half the races.
He's won one to this point.
Yeah, and has like put in laps of like multiple seconds faster.
I didn't realize this. Dude, he hasn't had a pole yet this year. He hasn't been on pole yet this year. Somebody talked about that, and I didn't because I don't really care that much about it, but I didn't really think about that. He hasn't had pole one time this year.
No.
Even last year and the year before that, when his bad races happened, he still put one on the pole and go probably 0.8 faster in practice.
Yeah.
And last night was last night was just tip over. He dropped in too far, his foot dragged, and he just was thinking the row was going to carry him through, and just leaned in.
Have you heard the talks that he's like, yeah, I just want to win one Supercross title before I retire?
I hate
the thoughts in his mind already.
Last night. And people were even speculating, oh, maybe it didn't. We didn't see it in his re-injuries his back. Okay, I've had bad back injuries. I know what back injuries are like. I didn't do the same thing he did, but yeah, tipping over like that doesn't re-injure your back to what he did, because I heard that he broke the wingtips off his back, which was similar to what I did, where mine pushed in on my spine. Washing the front end like that is not going to re-injure your back. If anything, it's going to do a hip damage before. Yeah. Just stupid stuff like that. So that is exactly why, and I'm going to jump on Eli Tomac in this show. Oh boy, that is exactly why what happened last night. Why I will never believe that he has enough to put in a Supercross championship. Because what happened the moment he kept. Fine, you can comment below, but I really want to hear what you have to say. Because everybody kept saying, if he gets a start. Well, guess what, guys? He had a freaking start, and he did nothing with it.
Yeah.
And what was going through your mind when he hit the start? Were you thinking, he's gone? He's gone. Were you there? Because honestly, I was thinking, I was waiting for it. I was like, he's going to rip the start.
Ricky and them commented on it.
They were like Kenny has to latch on to him.
Yeah, they're like, this is his kind of track. Like, it's busy, it's fast, he's going to be gone.
And all I was thinking is, he's going to put in 3-lap heaters that Kenny's not going to be comfortable with doing for the first 3 laps. He's going to gap out enough, and then Kenny's going to have to chase him, and it's not going to be enough.
Yep.
And it didn't happen.
Exactly.
And it did not happen. And then last night when he went down, no sense of urgency whatsoever. No sense of urgency. Guys were going past him left or right. Hell, you know what? If Zacho wouldn't have went down, he would have got 13th, because Zacho would have beat him, because Zacho was getting ready to go around him in the whoops. So, I mean, I don't want to hear the excuses anymore. Like, can we just admit that guys stepped their program up this year? Everybody's like, oh, he killed it last year. Yes, last year St. Louis and Glendale, that you could say, if you were talking about speed to speed, Eli's speed at those races was better than the speed we've seen this year. But can we just finally admit now that guys have stepped their speed up? Because I looked last night, he had 4 wins at this point last year. He had 4 wins, and then his other races were shit. The year before that, it was 3 wins.
Yeah.
He has 1 win, and it was in the mud. And I'm honestly going to sit here and tell you that if that wouldn't have been a mud race, I don't think he would have won it.
I don't think so either.
So, can we just finally admit that maybe guys have actually stepped their speed up and they're better this year?
Not arguing anything over here.
Because that's all we're going to hear. That's why I get so heated, because guys aren't going to get the credit that they deserve. All the guys that beat him, that have been beating him, Marv, Kenny, Webb, can we just admit maybe they've stepped their game up?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, dude, like I said, there's nothing I can say. I mean, dude, you're talking Chad Reed passed him.
Chisholm was beating him for a while.
Yeah.
Like, no disrespect to Chiz, but Chiz is not on Eli's level at all, ever will be.
Yeah.
So, like, I can't wait to hear, and Steve, and somebody even tweeted Mathis last night, they were like, well, did you hear anything from the Cowie guys? And he goes, no, there was no bike issues. Because people speculate, oh, maybe there was a bike issue. No, there's no, because people are like, oh, maybe the shift lever bent in, because obviously that shit happens. He's like, no, there was no bike issues. That bike was fine.
Interesting.
So I'm waiting to hear what is it now. Mm-hmm. Because he even said the back is fine.
Yep.
So
anyway, moving on. Chad Reed. Dude, how about Chad Reed leading that heat race for a second?
Dude, I can't believe the crowd was nuts. Oh my
dude.
God, dude.
Always are.
So that was good for him.
Yep.
Brayton.
Yeah, another so-so night. Plessinger kind of so-so right where he's...
That wasn't a great result, but that was the first time other than A1 that AP looked like he was in the zone because, dude, he came from I think 15th or something.
Did he?
He had a shit start.
Watching him.
And he was working his way through, so, he rode good. Dino just top 10s.
Yeah.
I mean, Barsha, after the shit show that
boy.
was...
Okay, so can we talk about that?
Yeah, sure. Fine.
So for anybody who didn't watch it, Bowers
just cleaned him out.
Cleaned him out.
Dude, it wasn't even braking. He wasn't even under braking, dude. He just rolled into him.
You like how Ricky just goes, yeah, that's from Vegas last year. And I'm like, we're not even beating around the bush. This is just, we're going for it.
I mean, I get that the AMA, or the FIM, I guess I should say, is trying to clean things up and stuff. But let's be real. We don't need guys just teeing each other up. We at least got to make it a little bit less conspicuous. But... dude, that shit used to happen all the time.
Yeah.
Ando's done worse. Barsha has done worse.
Yeah.
Bauer, I've even seen Bowers do worse than that.
When that happened, I was like, ooh, this LCQ is going to be interesting because they're going to go at it. Yeah. So when they said, Bowers is DQ'd, I'm like, oh.
I just don't see the consistency of the FIM because we've seen this stuff before and
there's no consistency in it, let's face it. The FIM and the AMA is a fucking joke.
Well,
I give Feld a lot of credit because they're trying to do stuff here now, which is really nice. But, dude, the FIM, what a fucking joke. Dude, they're openly coming out. Well, they're not openly, but it's coming out now that they're, biased against the U.S. riders. What's up with that?
And let's also talk about it for a second if we're talking. And we're not going to go on this rant, but the CBD thing.
Oh, we don't.
That was it's just part.
That's a whole separate.
It's just part of the other thing that these guys, their consistency and stuff.
That's a whole separate.
So
that's stupid. Too.
I honestly think that Keith McCarty and Jim Perry at Yamaha went and complained about that whole thing because Bowers was talking to Perry.
Yeah.
So.
That could have been too.
Cole Seeley. That was good. Wins the heat race. Good in practice.
Yeah.
Good for him. I'm glad because we both of us were really skeptical about how he was going to do because we didn't think that
he didn't even know if he was coming back. He didn't think he was coming back to ride.
He just keeps getting better and better, and I can honestly see with that heat race, winning it. That he can get some podiums by the end of this year. He ain't gonna get a win. But he can get some podiums, dude.
Yep.
We start going back to the West Coast when we get to round 12, 13. Dude, he could get a couple podiums here.
He could. And it bodes well, too, because if he wants to ride again next year, for him to get a ride somewhere.
He'll go to Moto Concepts. How much you want to bet?
I'm pretty sure on that, too. What happened to Freeze yesterday? I know he crashed in practice. Did he
crashed in that heat race. After you come back across the start, going to that double when everybody was jumping back across the start.
Was that in the heat?
That was in the heat race. Yeah, he just the front end. Was it?
I think it was practice. It was practice.
Maybe it was. It was. Yeah, and dude, I think.
God damn it, I'm right. It was practice.
He just slammed into the face when the front end push. He just slammed.
But he didn't ride last night, did he?
No,
I didn't think so. So yeah,
Savachi.
So chances are high he'll take that spot then.
Well, yeah, probably because they'll keep Malcolm and obviously Brayton. Brayton's going to be on that team until as long as he wants to be.
Yes.
So, no, I don't think they'll have the money to do 4. Yeah, more than likely Cole Seeley goes to that team.
Yeah.
Which it's not as good as factory Honda, but it still gets Honda support. Mm-hmm. So it won't be quite a lateral move, but it's still going to be on a good bike.
Yeah, well, and he knows enough people at Honda. I think if he really wants something, he can make a
phone call. Yeah. He got factory components for his CR450L.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he can make some calls to Shaw and be like, hey,
we need some stuff.
Yeah, we need some stuff.
So anyway, Savachi, I mean, dude.
Can we kind of say that it's getting more to the point that this is just who he is now?
I guess, man.
I mean, because Oakland was the only the 3 races, and I know it's only technically been 3. The bike grenaded, but he wasn't 3rd or 4th when it happened. I just think he's a 4 to 7 guy. He's a 4 to 7 guy.
It's definitely way better than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, that's all and we saw
way better than I thought it was.
And I'm not going to jump. Joey is my guy. Everybody watches the show, knows I'm a Joey guy. I'm not going to say, this is stamp it, because we're still at a long series to go. But if we get to round 12 or 13 and he's got 3 more top 5s, even just 5ths, I'm just going to have to say it, he's better on a 450. That's just who he is. It's finally one of those things where we can say, a guy was going to be better on the 4. No, he's just better on the 450. So good for him.
He'll get re-signed to that team for next year, though.
Well, here's the thing, though.
Oh boy, here we go.
No. The issues, we talked about it. We joke around. We have this thing on the group text about where Eli is going to go, where Kenny's going to go. But we kind of think that Eli's going to stay at Cowie, AC, and we think he's going to Honda.
He's going to Honda.
But if Cowie somehow does finagle him away from Honda's clutches.
Cowie's not going to pay that kind of money.
I don't think they will, but would they go with a three-rider team? Because I said this at the beginning of the year. If Joey does enough, where if he's just top 10 and he gets top 5s and gets some podiums, it's going to be hard to argue, hey, we're going to kick you off the team.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Because you have a proven guy. With AC, you know the ceiling's higher, but you're like, well, we don't know if he's going to go up and down or not. So good ride for him. I think he can keep continuing to do this. Baggett.
Quiet fourth.
Not bad for not riding all week.
Nope.
And getting pretty screwed up in that crash.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Jacked.
Yeah, so we know that he didn't ride all
bad.
week. So good for him. I think that this is who he is.
Yeah.
I think that Atlanta and Daytona is really going to probably be a break. I think it's his best shot to get another win is either one of those races. Marvin, I know that he's still rehabbing and stuff, but like...
Did you hear... Oh, you didn't watch press conference?
I haven't watched
Somebody
it.
straight up asked him, so how do you deal with going from last year, Ando was spanking you. They didn't say that term, but anyway, Ando was spanking you all over the place. And now this year, you've got Coop spanking you all over the place. How do you not get beat down and frustrated during the week?
Did he acknowledge it?
He goes, well, I didn't ride all of the off season because I was hurt, blah, 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 whatever. So he
beat around
the bush with the excuses a little bit, and I'm like, dude, yeah, it's got to be rough for him because, like, obviously we know he's not a spring chicken either, so he's on the way out at some point here too, and yeah, the new guy's coming in and 4 wins now.
Well, somebody even tweeted Matheson goes, how long before KTM starts selling their factory edition with the number 2 on it?
Oh, yeah.
25?
Oh, yeah.
And Mathis just laughed. No, I think that Marv is in a great situation. He's third in the points now. We know that he came in, he didn't ride most of the offseason. He did some team shoots and stuff, but we know that the knee was a big thing, kind of like with Eli, except worse, because he actually had surgery.
Yeah.
So, I think the biggest thing for me is that he went from being latched onto the back of Kenny, held Coop up for a little bit. Coop got around him, latched onto him for about 2 laps, couldn't run the pace, and then just got dropped.
Yeah.
I think that was the biggest shocker for me. Because endurance has never been Marv's issue. He just didn't have the pace to run it at the end of the main. Mm-hmm. That was my biggest shocker. I don't think we can really start hitting the panic button yet with him because we know where he's coming from.
I mean, he's still within, 5 points or something there? They're all pretty close.
Yeah, it was 2 points, so he...
It's pretty... Is it...
That's not... Yeah.
What the hell? Points. So he's within 6.
Yeah, he's within 6. So not bad, but
No.
I think the difference with him is because it's shown that other than A2, his outright speed isn't quite the elite level.
Yeah.
I think he needs to get a win here soon because the more times that he goes without a win and gets just podiums, it's going to start slipping away from him. And this is going to be just a 2-rider fight.
Yeah.
So we might as well just transition into Kenny.
Closest race ever, right? Is that what it is? Closest finish?
Dude, I looked at the finish and they said it was like, what, 200s?
Yep.
It was a front wheel. Coop's front wheel was that's 200s, a front wheel.
They went over the line. I was like, who won?
Dude, I was like, holy shit, dude. I was like throwing shit. I was like, oh my god.
So I gotta just go on here and critique.
Why did he do
Kenny.
what he do?
Why did you go wide? What were you doing?
And that was the thing is I think that as crazy as it is, and I started thinking about that, I think he was in a no-win situation because think about it. Okay, say he doesn't go wide. And I know what he's trying to do. He was trying to roll up high in the berm, trying to get away from the rut. That was the smoothest line at that point. Even if he tries to square off and shut the door on Coop was going to run it in.
Oh, yeah.
So he's going to get slammed. So then the only other option is go out to the outside of the corner at the quarter-way mark, square down. Coop had enough time or enough gap to anticipate what he was going to do. Coop could have just checked up. So I think Kenny was one of those things where we're like, what the hell are you doing? But I think in his mind, he's thinking, well, I take a chance getting running high, Coop running in on me, and then we just drag race to the finish. Or if I tried to block him and get slammed and go down and lose second, I think in his mind, he's just thinking, well, this was the less of worse evils.
Yeah.
But he looked great. Everybody's like, well, is his arms pumping up? What's wrong with him? Dude, I think the biggest thing is other than the last lap pass, it's not like he rode bad. Like, this wasn't a completely, breakdown. He rode good. The only thing is, it came down to the final corner.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen. He wins. We're not saying a damn thing about Coop catching him.
No.
So it's like, I think it's just one of those things that he's just still like, hey, if the win's there, yeah, I'm pissed. I didn't win. This is 2 times now Coop has done this to me this year.
He said it in his interview. I'm just going to take this into next week.
The old Kenny would have got frustrated and he would have done something stupid that Coop, even before that when Coop was catching him, and he'd have tossed it away, whatever. But I think with him is he's just like, damn it, this is the second straight time, third time in 2 years if you go back to Ando and Oakland. But it's like, in his mind, he's just thinking, dude, if I have the speed to win, I'm going to win. And if somebody's going to do that to me, it's kind of like, well, it pisses me off, but I'm not going to get up in arms about it. Like, it is what it is. This has showed that Kenny is actually maturing.
And he's 2 points out. All. I mean,
without a win.
Without a win. Like, you give him, like...
You take away Oakland or San Diego, and he has the points lead right now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, totally. Because his worst finish is still, like, 3 or 4 spots better than... No, his worst finish... He's a fifth. So he's still 5 spots better than Coop's worst finish.
Yeah, because Coop's is 10th in London.
Yeah. So, and like, even in the press conference, like, Kenny was like, yeah, I would have done the exact same thing.
No, that was not dirty at all. I mean, everybody's like,
well, people that are really pissed. I'm
people
like,
are like,
dude, he didn't even touch him.
People are like, oh, Coop crossword. What? Dude, when you have that enough of a gap to get in underneath somebody, what are you going to do? Like, it's worse if you're, like, literally side by side with him and run him high, because then all the forces... So Kenny would have went over the burn. Coop did what anybody would have done. Ando basically did the same thing in Glendale.
Yeah.
Except it was at the apex, not at the exiting of the corner. So, no, I have no issues with what happened.
Nope, not at all.
So,
Kenny didn't have any issues. Kenny literally was in the press conference. He's like, dude, it was for the race win. I'd have done the same thing.
If I'm Kenny, I'm not happy that this is 2 straight times, but I will say, though, even though he is not wavering on the mental side of things, like, I think he does need to get a win here soon.
Oh, yeah.
Because if this keeps happening, though, you can only be so mentally strong before you're like, well, son of a bitch.
Yeah. Yeah.
But let's just get into Coop. Is there any doubters left?
There shouldn't be.
Because all we kept
now
doing
he's
is
won everywhere.
Yeah, now everybody's like, well, what happens if he doesn't get a start?
Indoors,
he came
outdoors,
from 7th.
Came from 7th.
He came from 7th with Kenny getting a start.
Yeah.
Did Coop prove last night that he is the big dog on the block now? Is there? We're Coop guys, but we were very held back.
I texted you guys. I told you as soon as he won that race, I was like, dude, these guys are in trouble because he's got his mental strength back.
Because the difference with him and Ando last year is Ando, everybody talked about it. You know, okay, he got a gift, whatever. He was managing the championship at that point.
Yep.
The difference with Coop is that we know that Coop wants to win every race, and Coop has the mental strength to be able to win. Things aren't going his way to push through it.
Yep.
Is there any? I don't think anybody can argue that Coop's the big dog right now. There's nobody better than him. I don't want to hear this.
Wins.
I don't want to. And he came from 7th on a track that was one line. He came from 7th, and he ran the fastest lap of the night, I'm pretty sure, at the end of the main. Like, dude, I don't want to hear this. Oh well, if Kenny, no. Coop caught Kenny from 7th with Kenny getting a start.
That quad was huge too.
Yeah, me and Cole. Yeah, but the thing is, it's really shocking to me that he didn't size up in practice, didn't size up in the heat. He waits for when the face is as G out as possible, just soft as shit, and I'm gonna pull the quad.
When he hit that like with 3 to go, I was like, oh, he just quadded that.
Yeah, the first time he hit it clean. The second time he tagged the face and bounced in the corner. The third time you're just kind of like, well, whatever, pucking my butthole.
Yeah, well, and then I thought, I didn't know how many times he'd done it, so I was like, okay, maybe he did it that one time, he found it, whatever, and he was just going to wait till the last lap, and then he didn't do it on the last lap either. I was like, oh, okay.
But, yeah, I think we're at the point, I don't want to hear, well, what happens if Kenny gets a start or whatever. Because I'm sorry, he does the same thing to Eli last night. Does Eli not go down? He catches Eli, he passes him, and he gaps him.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't want to hear this, well, what happens? No. Right now, these boys are in trouble. I know it's the same amount as Ando had last year. It's the same amount as Eli had to this point. But the difference is Coop's the points leader.
Yep.
And Coop is proven now, because that was the one thing Ando didn't do last year. He didn't come through, even in Oakland, he didn't come from 7th. He didn't come through to win, not like,
nope.
No. Everybody's healthy, everybody's good, and Coop just made everybody his bitch last night.
Yes.
I'm going to tell you this right now, that if we get to round 12 and Coop has 3 more wins, I don't care what the rest, he's champ. Mm-hmm. He's not getting beat. He is the best guy, clear cut, without a doubt. He is doing what Eli should have been doing the last 2 years with all the race wins and then putting all the other races together. Mm-hmm. Coop is the best guy.
Yep.
There's no ifs. I am right now stamping this. 7th round in, he is the best guy. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You cannot deny what he did last night.
Nope.
Because I was thinking, I don't know about you, but I was thinking, 7th place start, Kenny's going to get out. He's going to pull a little bit. Coop's going to get 3rd. Yep. And the fact that he caught Kenny that late.
Oh, yeah.
Like, Kenny had a good, 2.5 seconds on him with, 3 minutes to go?
Yeah, something like that.
And I'm thinking, Coop is just... And even Coop, when he was forcing a little bit, getting loose in the whoops, he even took a lap, relax, breathe, give him a heart rate down, and then came back after him. Yeah, dude, I don't know what else to say. He's just the guy right now, and I don't think that anybody can argue it. He's faster than everybody.
Oh, yeah.
His starts are better than everybody. He's mentally stronger than everybody right now. I mean, and I'll say this, if he wins a Supercross championship, I know that what we think about Eli and Kenny outdoors, and even Marv to an extent, those boys are going to be in trouble outdoors.
Oh, yeah.
I don't care what Eli's done the last 2 years. I don't care what we think about Kenny outdoors. I don't care about Marv, Baggett, Barsha. if Coop wins this Supercross championship,
Oh yeah, with that confidence, they're in trouble.
yeah.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
I mean, dude, I just, part of me, I really wanted Kenny to get the win last night. I like Coop. We both had backed off. We both thought Coop, this is what he should have been doing, but we backed off because his last 2 years was terrible. But, dude, like, part of me, I'm bummed Kenny didn't get the win, but part of me was going, I kind of want Coop just to win it because it's kind of like, well, if he wins it, he proves the point that, like, he's the big dog right now.
Yep. So,
I mean, I don't know what these boys got to do. Like, what? Oh, I got to start. He gets a bad start. No. It's not good enough.
No.
So let's just jump into the triple. We got the Triple Crown, second round of the Triple Crown this weekend.
Yep.
Before we go into the winners, let's kind of do who do we think rebounds in both classes and who needs to rebound in both classes. Because I know we're getting low on the battery. Before we get into wins.
Who
Who needs to rebound in the 250 class and who is going to rebound? Who needs it the most right now, do you think, in the 250 class?
It's hard to say, man. It's still pretty early in the East here, so I'm trying to think. Dude, honestly, I think Covington just needs. Covington, I think, needs it the worst. I think he needs to qualify for the night show.
Yeah,
That's all there is to it. I think he needs to qualify for the night show. I think he needs it worse because he cannot continue. I know they didn't hire him for Supercross, and he's not supposed to be a Supercross guy. They're waiting for outdoors for him.
Yep.
Just go ride whatever. But dude, if he doesn't start like. Because I know, like, last week he was super nervous, opening round, whatever, and he made it in, and boom, whatever. But now, then you go from that to, like, he didn't qualify this week.
Yeah.
Like, didn't even qualify
And he
through the
struggled all
LCQ.
day.
Yeah, and he struggled bad.
On a basic track.
You can't put him in 2, 3, 4 of these in a row where he doesn't qualify for the night show and expect it to be all gravy here because he's going to get frustrated. They're not going to be, like, happy whether they want him to or not, whatever. So I think Covington needs to rebound. What was the other question?
Who do you think is going to rebound? Sexton, Smitty, whoever.
Probably Smith. Was Smith on the podium?
Smith got fourth.
Yeah, so probably Smith because I think he'll be on the podium.
Okay. I think that I agree with the Covington. He just needs to get in, get these mains. He just needs to get more experience and then go after it next year.
Yep.
I think that Sexton rebounds. I think that the Triple Crown, because if his starts are on point, I think that not having to put a whole main together will kind of serve him well.
10 minutes at a time.
And then the same question in the 450s, and then we'll just get into the winners, I guess.
I think Tomac really needs
to rebound the most.
Needs to rebound, and I think he will because he's usually pretty good at Detroit.
But if he doesn't have a good race this weekend, are we hitting the panic button? Are we going to?
We're going to get a panic button.
Yeah, we're going to hit the panic button if he doesn't rebound.
So, yeah.
And who do you think will? Do you think just him?
I think him, yeah.
Okay. And then Triple Crown winners for both classes.
Okay, I think, honestly, I think Justin Cooper's going to win.
The overall or how? No, like.
Yeah.
Who's going to win the mains, though?
I think Forkner's going to get 1 or maybe 2.
And then his last one be bad?
Yes. I think he's going to hit the deck because there's too many races, too many stars, too many variables with all of the guys as opposed to just having a heat race where he's only got like half of them, et cetera, et cetera.
Yep.
So I think something's going to go wild like it did in Minnesota last year for him where he hit the deck like 4 times in 2 races or whatever.
No, man, that was like 8.
Yeah, well, whatever. Anyway.
That was like 8 times.
But like I said, I think Cooper's going to be the most consistent because I don't think Smith and Sexton are going to keep it off the ground either. So I think Cooper's going to stay the most consistent and maybe like podium every single one and win it.
Okay.
And like that's really what I think.
Okay.
And then as far as the 450s go, I mean it's hard to bet against Coop.
Especially in a 12 plus 1 main.
Yeah, and I want to keep saying Kenny, but dude, I'm just not sure. I don't know. I mean, I guess I'm gonna say Kenny's gonna win it. Kenny's gonna go 2-2-2-2 and 2-2-2-2 and
3
and win it. Yeah, 3 2s and win it.
I think there's 2 scenarios in the 250 class. I think that as good as Fortner's starts are and being the shorter, less likely to make a mistake. As good as his starts are, I think he either becomes the first one and since we started this last year to win all 3, or I think he wins 2 and Sexton wins another one.
Okay.
And I think that if Sexton does win, it'll probably because. So yeah, I think that Fortner either wins all 3, but I think the more likely one is that he gets the first 2 and then has a problem, and then I think that Sexton wins it. So I think that Sexton, if he gets a win, I think Sexton will be just consistent enough to get the overall. But it's hard to argue with the Cooper thing because of how consistent he is.
Yes.
Because I don't think he has the speed to outright win just yet. And then as for the 450s, dude, I think Coop wins 2 and Kenny wins 1 and Coop just wins again. I can't, this is getting to the point that like, he's going to go for the 5th one. How can you, if he wouldn't have won last night, it'd be like, okay. Yeah. But like, I get it, abbreviated mains, but his starts have been good. So it's like, well, dude, if he gets a second place start and 2 out of the 3, more than likely he's going to win 2 out of the 3.
Yep.
And he's proven he's not gotten rattled as far as making a mistake and hitting the ground. So, and like I said, if he keeps continuing to win, like the only chance in the next 4 races that I see him not winning is Daytona. And who knows, maybe even he wins Daytona.
Yeah.
Daytona's like the only race I can see in the next 4 to 5 rounds that I see his chances go down a little bit just because how good Eli is there. But other than that, I think Coop wins. I think he extends the points lead and he keeps making these guys like chase him. Like it's going to become a real issue. And if Coop gets more than a 12-point gap, it's over with.
Yeah.
I don't think you can beat him. And like I said, Eli, at 16 points down, dude, you got to start clicking off wins. You got to get wins. This podium shit is not good enough anymore. You got to get wins at this point.
Yep.
Because at least last year he was winning.
Yeah.
You know,
Yep.
so.
All right, cool. Well, this has been another episode of the Moto Aftermath Show presented by TLR Coatings. Make sure to follow us on all the social media. Make sure to support us with Patreon, Teespring, and the Amazon links down below. We will be out of studio. Yeah, back to because I'm off to Florida for the next couple weeks here.
Next 2 rounds. Then.
Yeah, for the next 2 rounds. So Detroit and Atlanta, and then I will be back in studio for Daytona. So anyway, thanks for tuning in. Make sure to like, subscribe, and comment on all of them. If you can't watch, make sure to listen on iTunes and SoundCloud, and we will see you guys next week after Detroit.